Hey there, fellow entrepreneurs and future entrepreneurs. My name is Miha and I'm a serial entrepreneur and coach/mentor to other entrepreneurs. What I do is I help entrepreneurs at different stages on how to start, grow, and scale their businesses. But most importantly, I help them overcome that hustle, grind mindset and show them how they can achieve freedom of both time and money. And yes, it is possible to have both. So let's just dive into today's subject. As you can see, I call it Power Hour. And that's 1 hour every week that made the biggest impact on my life. But before you can start with the Power Hour, which is this part, you need to do a little bit of homework first. So your homework is healthy life balance. Fellow entrepreneurs, I honestly hope that you see that there is more to life than just work. Please don't fall into that hustle, grind mindset. If you don't believe me, just go and Google one of the last interviews that Steve Jobs did. We all see him as this hugely successful entrepreneur, but just have a read what he said when he was getting close to unfortunately passing away. What regrets he had on other parts of his life that at the end seemed more important than what he did in business. So please don't fall into that trap of hustle, grind. You need healthy life balance. Because if you just focus on your work, sooner or later your relationships will fall, your health will start deteriorating, and so on. You need healthy life balance. I have 8 areas in my life that I see as a healthy balance, like healthy lifestyle, relationships, finances, business, hobbies, and so on. So I take a look at all of them when I'm doing my SMART goals planning. SMART goals really means that you have KPIs and you have benchmarks attached to your goals. So it's not just a dream, it's a dream with some numbers, with some dates by when you want to achieve them, and then you are doing actions that are measurable and you can benchmark them. But more on that in later videos. And then what I'm always striving every week is to have weekly balance. I found it that for me it's easier to have different days dedicated to different things, or actually 2 different things, because I practice polyphasic sleeping, so I sleep twice instead of just once. And so I have the morning routine and then the morning part of what I do, and then I go to sleep in the afternoon, and then when I wake up I have a whole nother routine and a whole other part that I focus on, and then I go back to sleep again. It just makes it easier for me, and you might want to try it, but this is not the point of this video. So once you have those SMART goals, they are really the key. So first, you know thyself, and then you have this, and you are striving for a weekly balance within weekly planning. Then 1 hour every week, I have that on a Sunday evening. I just take some time to reflect on the past week. I go through the actions through different days. I have a look at the struggles. I have a look at wins. I reflect on what I could have done better if I was, holding myself accountable, and so on. So this is the reflection part. From the reflection part, I see some of the things where I could do better or where I could change some actions. So I do brainstorming on how I can then plan my next week better, so that I'm even more aligned with reaching my goals. Because your goals will not be reached if your action steps leading to your goals, your process, is not aligned with what you want to accomplish. And that's where we fail. So reflect, brainstorm, and then plan. And I just do this on a weekly basis. And when I say reflect, brainstorm, and plan, I take healthy life balance into account. And I look at life as a circle, and I try to push all of those areas a little bit closer to the perfect 10. So I hope this makes sense. In my program, we actually dive into each of these areas separately, and there are many lessons just connected with this power hour, because it's super important. And if you do this once a week and you devote 1 hour of your time plus a few more hours to do the preparation first, you will see such tremendous, huge changes in your life you won't be able to believe. My life literally changed in 1 year so much I wasn't even able to grasp it. I still remember one day I was driving in my car and I was just smiling, and I was like, oh my God, like, am I dreaming, or is this really my life happening? Because as you might know, I went through a lot of hell in my past, losing $20 million overnight and so on. And I didn't saw any possibility for any light on the other side of the tunnel. And then once I started with this, this was, I think, the most crucial technique that got me on the other side of the tunnel. And I really couldn't believe that it really is my real life and not just a dream. But that's what happens with just 1 hour. So take time, do the homework first, start doing the power hour routine, and you will see enormous changes in your life. I can guarantee you that. Take care, guys, and I hope to see you in the next lesson. Bye.